Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
You've been away for a whole week.
I've been away for a whole week, yeah.
Is Eminem joining us on the show?
It maybe doesn't deserve an Eminem intro, I'll grant you that, but welcome everyone to everyone who's listening to the show live on YouTube. Prepare for the copyright strike that will inevitably follow. We don't earn any money at it anyway, so frankly, who cares?
Eminem gets like $50 out of this. I hope he makes a song about it. That would be cool.
We could be the subject of a diss track. I'd very much like to have that on my resume.
Didn't you hear his last album? He doesn't diss anymore.
So does he compliment?
Maybe.
Rick is my chancellor. Thank you, Rick. It's just gonna be like a very complimentary and kind rap song. Sign me up.
Dear me. Well, as you can see, Ariel, what are you sponsored by this week? Because it feels like I'm not sponsored. Well, I'm sponsored by Eminem, obviously. Ariel's not sponsored. David seems to be sponsored by cardboard boxes and Ripley.
Handstand.
Oh, it's cousin. Have we not been sued for cousin it? No, it's not cousin it. What's the hand in the Addams Family?
The
thing. Yeah.
It and thing. It's very confusing.
Could
How can you
that
have
talk?
it and thing as separate characters in the same program?
If it couldn't talk, then it couldn't sue us. Like, it's fine. It's fine.
All right,
It's
okay. Right, that's fine. Ripley's sponsored by Breitling this morning, as you can see. Well done, Ripley.
If only it's Breitling, but a closer examination will reveal I am born to dare. I am head to toe in Tudor cycling apparel.
I thought you had a Tudor-caused head injury and are now sensitive to light as a result.
No. I am just so dripping in Tudor swag. I don't even know where to start or where to begin. But we guess we'll just do as the racers do: switch our caps before we start. I would show you my shorts. They're padded with suspenders built in, but they're so tight we would surely be demonetized instantaneously.
That goes for OnlyFans. It's fine.
I mean,
100% behind the paywall.
We already haven't started this live show early enough for Ripley to show us his hairy chest. That he seems to have shaved the Tudor snowflake hand into the hair of his chest as some sort of brand recognition. But we're just taking it to extreme, to be fair.
Rumor has they pay their ambassadors more if they modify their body hair to suit the brand's logo, so I'm in theme.
I would write that.
A block to watch after dark.
Well, breaking news beats on the chat is already complimented Ripley on your attire. Right, well, let's get the actual show underway. So as we normally do, let's count ourselves down from 3 to 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Greetings and welcome to this week's A Blog to Watch Weekly. You've already missed out on a copyright strike musical interlude. Ripley showing us his chest hair and David digging his way out from the cardboard boxes that are in his house. Ariel, we're not sure what he's done yet, but I'm sure he'll reveal that to us any minute now. How are you, gentlemen? I'm back. I did notice that in my absence last week, you just spent most of the show rubbishing Panerai, so we will seek to correct that this week.
I'm well spent.
We were doing our best to compliment that watch, by the way.
Yes.
Well, there's another one this week that we'll look at and review later on, so we'll see how we go. But we have a few things to pick up from. Most of them actually non-watch related, so that's fun for a watch show. But when I last left you, we were anticipating what Jaguar were going to do. For anyone who's also in Britain, the same design team also appears to have been responsible for the redesign of the men's Six Nations, for those of you that are into your rugby. Thumbs up, thumbs down on what actually happened.
Oh, I celebrate the sheer impracticality of that vehicle. It's as ridiculous as our favorite Jaguars from the history. Yes.
It's very pink. David?
I had to suffer through some sort of presentation by Harry Metcalf or somebody. It was not easy to see somebody as dignified as Harry in such a circumstance. But Anyway, he somehow explained that that's a concept and that there's an actual car coming that's based on that, but it will have 4 doors or something like that. But it's all electric, so I don't care.
Hmm. It does strike me that, and I'm just playing the video for now. So if you're on, I mean, let me just pause it right there. There is
Oh
a man
gosh,
who appears to be wearing double denim and
Anolis.
a Patek Nautilus, uh, with hair that I can only describe. Do you remember the $6 million man?
That's
Or the
bananas.
yeah, yeah, is that he doesn't strike me as a guy. I mean, okay, so he's funky because one of his pockets on his denim jacket appears to be carbon fiber. This doesn't strike me as a
Oh
man at the
my
cutting
god.
edge of design. This is not who I would have put up to present this. I'd maybe put out Barbie or
I
Ken
love, but
to do
this
it.
is the thing. You're right with Barbie and Ken because the car is all about looks. No one has ever said anything about how it drives, nor does anybody care.
Well,
Look,
I thought the whole point of this was they were supposed to be like producing a car that wasn't a concept car. I was only halfway. Maybe I missed the press release. That actually, this was the future. Like,
Oh, they're gonna
something we
drag
could,
this out, Rick.
something we could buy quite soon. Yeah,
You could buy a
They've
model
taken-
of it, I'm sure.
They've taken a page from our favorite watch companies. They start with some novel colors and something entirely impractical, and they slowly start rolling it out in subsequent colors and more practicality until they get to something that's utterly boring, but in this case, still unreliable because it's a Jag.
Well,
does
the
it have a
funny thing
Celica engine?
is companies like Jaguar have apparently no idea of what makes a good electric car a good electric car. Nobody does. No one talks about it. I grew up where companies were like, "Let me tell you why this car is going to be good." We get none of that now. It's
Of course not.
you more or less know how it's going to work, and we're going to mystify you with a bunch of software which doesn't work. But here's the design for you to look at. I mean, that I don't know that this is a car launch in the way that maybe the rest of us remember car launches. Like, I don't know what this does that no
It's
other
making
car.
me
I know it
sad.
looks different, but does it solve any new problems? Does it do anything new? That we're selling cars entirely based on looks and nothing else, I just think diminishes the hobby for gear nerds like us.
Well, I mean, it seems to have failed at its first purpose, Ariel, by the mere fact that you pronounced it Jaguar, because
It-
it's Jaguar, and the whole logo is designed around the fact that the two capitals in the middle are supposed to make you go Jag, you are, not
Yes.
Jaguar. So there you go. It's failed at the first iteration of
I didn't
why
realize
it
that was a
exists.
major goal. Okay, well then yes, total failure.
What is it supposed to, what?
So
I
the
mean, it
two-
has,
the-
yeah.
The two capital letters in the middle of the logo that I'm showing on the screen now, in theory, so the design gurus tell me, is
Yeah.
supposed to give you the impression that it's made up of 2 syllables. Jag, you are, 3 syllables.
If
2
my
words,
eyes rolled any
Jaguar.
harder, they'd pull something. That's the equivalent of Omega spelling it OM capital E because it's Omega. Like
Exactly.
that, you can't let the logo speak for the pronunciation of it. It just looks like the U is oversized.
Exactly.
I just miss
Anyway,
someone talking about horsepower or braking or suspension, just any of that stuff, please.
How
Look
many
at this
electric
car.
horses does this pull?
in the chat, Breaking News Beats has just made the most excellent point that wouldn't it have been great if the Patek he'd been wearing had been the ones with the jeans strap on it, just to make
Big
the whole thing
mistake.
complete.
He's on a
No,
waiting
no,
list for one, that's for sure.
It's a big error.
This
big
deserves
error.
a Cubitus, though. I mean, look at these cars and this whole
Yeah,
shebang.
Cubitus. That would have been it. Patek
It's Jaguar's
announces
Cubitus moment.
the new. I'm just going to try and freeze frame.
Jaguar
it on-
Cubitus.
This is the man responsible.
His head is shaped like a cube too. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's all like coming together
Suddenly it all
can't
makes
be-
sense.
by mistake.
I feel like what we're seeing is
Anyway.
a car transitioning out of its ability to be driven by a person.
Mhm.
It's like, here's the design of one of the last cars that a person has a steering wheel with. Like,
Hmm.
that's what I'm feeling here because no one's talking about anything related to being a car.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, and who knows when it's even ever going to appear? if it
Jaguar.
ever does.
Jaguar.
That's it, so you got
Jaguar.
it now. It was-
Are you?
Jaguar.
It was worth all that.
I'm
effort.
trying, Brand,
Oh,
whose name
Jesus.
is a cat.
Have mercy.
Anyway, good stuff. So that was the first bit of finished business from the last show that I was on. There was one other piece that we said we would nominate a watch to fulfill, and the story has moved on slightly since this all started. And if you remember this, the world seemed to have gone mad that particular week with the Jaguar. And somebody gaffer taping a banana to a wall, selling it for $6.2 million.
I'll take the
And then-
Jaguar.
And then later, that's right, that's your choice: Jaguar or banana.
Okay, wait.
Which? Mhm.
Rick, haven't you
Yes.
learned the lesson that a Blog to Watch's editorial policy is try to advocate, which is do not report on the results of auctions. Just don't ever.
But this is good that you'll like this, because then what happened next was that the person that bought it ate the banana, and I think you would be more into watch auctions if the person bought the watch for a ridiculous amount and then smashed the watch out as a worthless piece of junk that it actually was.
No, I want to see them eat it. I thought you were going somewhere totally different with that. I want to see them eat the thing.
He ate it.
watch
He
concerns.
publicly ate it. He's turning it into what it is, which is crap. It's just he's doing the service for us.
But then I want to know: can he just get a new? The whole point is it's a new banana, can he just get? He can just get a new banana and recreate the artwork. It's the same thing, because that's.
I
art
mean,
for
this
you.
is the funny thing.
That's how
I
it'll
see
work.
this statement there: cryptocurrency businessman. Eating that banana is the realest thing this person's ever done.
Well, the question we posed last time was, which watch could you sellotape to a wall and improve its value?
I think he was like,
watch
I
or
have-
brand.
I have all this crypto and I want to turn this non-real thing into something just a tiny little bit more real, which is probably a charity of some sort.
It is
So
hard to
it's
eat
just-
Bitcoin. That's true.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
If you're
that-
hungry
that's
for
also true.
Bitcoin, this was one of the fastest ways of eating a whole lot of it.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
yes.
You could tape any watch to a wall. I don't think it would increase its value too much.
You don't think there's something really meta to be said about taping a watch to the wall? I mean,
It's
if
called a
banana-
wall clock
Well-
anyway.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This art piece is divorced from the specific banana. You know, the banana was
Yes.
meant to be replaced. So it almost doesn't matter what watch you tape to the wall. It's the concept of taping a watch to the wall and having some shady crypto businessman eat the watch or not watch that is the actual piece of art. So I don't think it actually matters if what watch we tape to it, just as long as someone buys it and eats it.
Hey, better this than rhino horn is all I have to say.
Yeah.
And the thing was, even the tape is not part of the art display. So it's actually a display of nothing, because the banana's not part of it, and neither's the tape. So there you go. So which is okay? Let's rephrase the question for the sake of this. Try and get back to watches briefly, because we'll move on to something else in a minute. You can tell I've been in a dark room for about the past 2 weeks. What watch is most like what's the most banana-esque watch? Like the most generic? Is this a Casio? Is this an F91W?
I don't know, like a
melt
melty Cartier Crash. That's kind of a banana-y shape, a little bit. I don't know.
shape. Yeah.
Does Studio
Yeah.
Underdog not already make a banana of sorts? If not, he should do this and just price it at 6 point whatever million.
Okay, let's not give Richard too many ideas. He's already making
Better
enough money
colors
as
than
it is.
passion fruit. Just saying.
That's right. So who's the collab with? If it's not Moser, it's probably Hublot. No,
Oh yeah.
It's going to be Sotheby's apparently.
give me some of these selling,
Yeah.
selling their own gear. Anyway, there we go. Right, we will start to edge it back to watches, but not too quickly, because, and I think you've touched on this before, Ariel, is the fashion industry and how it influences the watch industry. And you may have come across this, starting using it, and I am as geared up as I possibly can be for this, but that the color of the year by Pantone has been announced as a mellow brown. Does this mean we're going to be seeing brown watches next year?
That just
I
looks
think
like what
all
that
the
banana.
rage.
They couldn't have chose a better photo for it. I'm just
Yeah,
looking at it's just anything.
It's like what the
Could've-
banana will turn into very soon. This is
Look
Look
This
at
is
this
the
nonsense.
day the internet officially becomes not serious.
Rick. Rick.
Yes. What?
Honestly,
When Pantone chooses a bowl of dog feces as color of the year.
It's the mocha mouse.
The
Great.
Mocha Mouse. It's
Mocha
what comes out
Mousse,
of the
wow.
Mocha Mouse.
Mocha mouse.
This is,
There you go.
I love how that is one color now.
This has been a pretty crappy year. Is this supposed to mean that, like 2025, this is all we have to look forward to?
I love how
Stuff
every
made to look
company
like
that
this.
makes a bronzer in this tone is like, let's make more of our stuff that was we never thought it is mousse.
Thoughtful indulgence, harmonious comfort, feelings of contentment.
Jaguar.
Jaguar, exactly. I'm so happy I didn't have to say that.
Well, we
Oh
know
my
we
God,
know what
good,
color
well
the first
done.
car is going to be in, right?
I mean, can I just for the record, I do own a brown watch, and it's quite nice. I quite like it. I think brown on a dial is quite nice. A bit nice for
Sure.
a watch for
It's
about
not
10 years
brown,
ago.
it's mocha mousse.
It's
This is a
mocha
totally
mousse.
different color.
It literally
Oh.
just looks like
Oh.
women's makeup foundation. That's all I see here.
Yeah.
But why
Look
is
at
it
all of
so
those.
wet in the photo? It didn't need to be that wet.
It is whipped.
Oh no, we've got a yeah.
That's funny.
Kind of shiny. I mean, you're also right. That is not a single color.
Yeah.
They're showing you in that.
They're cheating.
They're cheating at their own thing. So there we have it. Right. Okay. Enough of that.
Color of the year, shades of brown.
Shades of brown. It probably does reflect the year so far, and possibly what's going to happen in 2025. Right, David, you've had it
What?
on your desk. You
Yes.
revealed it a couple of weeks ago, and last week you were you decided this was an award, the best award possible, the best trophy possible, certainly more relevant to GPC, and all we need to do is find something appropriate to award it to. So any category suggestions?
Whichever brand makes the first mocha mousse watch, I will send them a glorious handstand. Look,
I mean,
fantastic.
it's very, very nice, but for some reason I want to call the award the How Hublot Can You Go, just because it's a nice pun. And
That could be one of the categories. Okay?
one of the categories is How Hublot Can
How
You Go. I mean, I
Hublot
like
can you
Hublot.
go?
How Hublot Can You Go? Any other category suggestions?
When they go low, you go Hublot.
They go high. You
So
go
we're gonna have the
Hublot.
Hublot Pun Awards. Is this a whole
Yeah.
offshoot?
Oh my
But
God.
actually, that's properly meta.
Yes.
Do Hublot have a famous? Do Hublot have a famous handset worth celebrating in carved stone?
Maybe the sun
Okay.
blows too. Yes.
Right. Okay. So anyway, this is selling like hotcakes as I understand it. So get
Yes, they
yours
are, which is
while,
great.
while they're hot. It's quite large, and yeah, it's certainly cool.
We need larger ones. Let's be honest.
Yes. Yeah. I actually have the idea to make one that's like the size of me, basically, and just put it in the corner of
We
the
grandfather
room.
want
and
them
The
to
whole
be
thing just lights up.
classified as swords in various countries.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're not supposed to, and it glows in the dark too, so that's pretty cool. So the large one should do that as well, basically, and
So
just
bring back
Yeah.
the grandfather clock.
Yeah.
I think that we're closer, not close, but closer to there being an award that we can give this as a trophy to, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I've been talking with some people in the industry who, like us, lament the fact that the industry has been not spending as much as it historically has on advertising and marketing, which has contributed to the decline of a lot of watch media. Not us stubborn zealots at a blog to watch, but a lot of the
we're the only
watch
ones
media.
left.
And this individual, who is a respected person, who's a PR professional, made the tactical error of suggesting that we shame the watch industry into spending money on marketing. I'm like, that's already failed. What you can do is you can tempt them into doing it by rewarding those that have good marketing through the awards. So the whole strategy right now is to reward good behavior, and not try to shame them, because the luxury industry has never been shamed for anything shameful they've ever done throughout history. Let's be honest. So they're
I
not
reckon
going to
we can
start
have a
today.
good go at it.
So let's get serious about starting the watch marketing awards. It sounds silly, but the whole Hublot thing, like how Hublot can you go? Like, that's a legitimate category. Let's be honest.
I like it. I like it. So
And it can be like
Yeah.
the sexiest campaign that's entirely divorced from the watch that it's promoting. It's like we're gonna have skydiving in Gestad. What's the watch about? It's a dive watch, but like this isn't important.
And the category will be like watch ad or insurance.
I mean, Ripley, presumably you'd have to give the award to Tudor, bearing in mind you seem to have eaten Tudor.
Or has
Ripley.
Tudor eaten me, Rick? I am head to toe in the brand swag
That's
right
true,
now.
that's true,
Bike
that's
specific swag, no less.
Do you have to give it back along with the watch when you're finished with it?
There are very clear instructions on how I'm supposed to return the watch. None on the shorts. I laundered the shorts, but there was no instructions to do so.
Is that laundered in a auction house kind of a
Oh,
thing,
right.
or
Watch
laundered-
industry. I need to be careful. No. I put it in the washing machine with my running clothes. This is not like a Phillips record-setting type of deal.
A charity auction for shorts. That's
These are
great.
not
Can we-
$40,000 underwear.
Well, if I was going to
Can we-
auction the shorts, I wouldn't have washed them. Specifically, I would have not washed them, and that we know exactly who that buyer is.
That does increase the
we're-
value to some people. That's true.
Sellotaping
Provenance.
that to the wall. There we go.
Provenance.
Ripley, could you Ripley, could you please gaffer tape your shorts to the wall behind you
That's
for next
funny.
week?
Yes, I will yes, definitively
gaffer tape that
yes.
That
You'll
wall
see it
needs
right
some
here
gaffer
next
tape.
week.
That wall needs some gaffer tape. And if you would like to sponsor Ripley's wall, then please get in touch with the show, podcast at blogtowatch.com. Oh, we have a musical interlude. Would you
Oh my
would you
God.
would you like to hear our jingle? Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Are you ready? Here it comes. It's quite long, but it's very good. And I guarantee by the end of it, you will be humming this tune and it will do your head in. At least that's how I feel about it. So thank you to Mark for saying this, and it's absolutely
Your
awesome.
heading.
Here we go. Here we go.
You wanna know and you wanna talk. Let's hear your thoughts on a blog to watch. Give us a call, your paper and pen. Remember this tune, just stream it again. +44 738 6690 897. Give us a call, your paper and pen. Remember this tune, or stream it again. +44 738 6690 897.
Mark, you're a hero.
738 6690 897. You wanna know, you wanna
How much longer does it go on?
Let's hear your thoughts on a
We're gonna have it go on loop for about 75 minutes.
Just call your paper and pen.
The way to make the music stop is by calling the
Just
number.
stream it again.
This just keeps on going until you call the number.
Don't
There we
forget,
go.
there's also the podcast at ablogtowatch.com, which requires no song to remember. While songs are nice, you don't need the song to remember podcasts at ablogtowatch.com.
But if you do send us an email to podcast@blogtowatch.com, we will send you the MP3 of the song. for you
Okay,
to
there's that
legally
too.
share,
What a
download,
gift.
And distribute it. There you go. What a gift! Free. Who says we don't give anything? Who says we don't?
Ringtones for the holidays, and at the
Ringtones for
next
holidays.
Blog to Watch live event, we will try to have a live performance of this.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to? Who do you think's the best DJ in the watch world that could do? Who could press play the best for that track? I think. Ripley was showing some hand waving action there.
I
think
used
can
to
see
make
him-
music. I
can see-
am more than
Oh, no.
capable of. I'll ask for the stems. We'll kick it. We'll put a house club mix
Yeah.
on it. We can just spin this into a whole set.
And I
I've
could sway
remembered
to
who-
that in a dark room.
I've remembered who are in-house musicians. Ed, we need to get Ed to
Sweet.
DJ this.
Yes.
Ed's the man for this. And I think in the background with David's 4, what would it be? 6 foot tall watch stand
Yeah.
with the DJ's head just silhouetted by the Mercedes hand glowing in the dark behind it. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole
Yeah.
clubhouse vibe. So there we go.
Major
So
vibe.
that's it for our jingle. Thank you very much to Mark. If you want to hear that again, and believe me, you are going to hear it again, then do
Oh, yeah.
contact the show. If you don't want to hear it again, you need to send us something else to play it instead. So that is your task. Anyway, right. I
Still
know,
don't
can we
remember the number, by the way.
You want me to play it again?
No.
Well, I mean,
For the love of God.
if you can't remember the number, we could go down this route.
No.
That number is +447 386 690 897. Now leave me in peace. I have watches, the best watches to sell, and don't believe all that fake watch media news. They're all selling watches too.
Just there's the Donald, just in case you needed to.
I mean, why do humans even make content anymore with this available to us?
Listen, I'm having too much fun doing this. Just leave me in peace for a minute. I'll get over it. Like, I'll get bored.
Leave me in peace.
There'll be something else will distract me in a minute. That'll be fine. Something else will come along. Right, let's talk about some watches. What have we actually got this week? Oh, let's well, seeing as we were discussing the concept of our watch award about how Hublot can you go, let's have a look at this first. This is the Hublot Big Bang Tourbillon Carbon SR underscore A. This, David, this sounds like a watch that you would love. It's got an underscore in the title.
Yes,
This is
yeah.
meant for you.
It actually says it twice on the side, I believe.
By Samuel Ross Watch Ripley.
Yeah, am I
Tell us
making
a
this
little
up
bit
on the
about
side
this.
of the case? It literally says the name of the watch like once and then right over it again.
That sounds right. This is the third one of these that they've done. The Samuel Ross people.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Two
There we go.
SRAs.
That's
There-
the dumbest thing. I couldn't have made that stuff up, even if I tried.
They
And
gotta
that's
keep
from
you
a
on
man
your
that
feet,
put an
David, okay?
underscore
They-
in his Instagram handle.
Yes.
So tell us about it, Ripley.
This is the third one. Samuel Ross people probably know from like his brand, A Cold Wall, which I think has multiple asterisks after it in the official spelling of the name. But this guy's done collabs with everyone from Nike and beyond. He won the Hublot Design Award in 2019, became a Hublot ambassador in 2020, and the first Samuel Ross Hublot model was this, but take out the carbon fiber pieces, put orange polymer in its place, and swap out the blue rubber for orange rubber, and you pretty much have the idea. Last year, they followed up with a green version where the orange rubber bits were all titanium, so it's a monochromatic watch on a green strap. And now we have version 3, where they've swapped out what was previously orange polymer and then titanium with forged carbon, and then they've updated the colorway to blue. There's a couple different hues of blues on the hands, comes with the blue strap and a black strap. But from a fundamental perspective, it's the same watch as we've seen for the past 2 years, now in blue with carbon, and just like its predecessors, it is a limited edition of, I believe, 100 pieces, and it is naturally more expensive than both of its predecessors.
So what do we think? Where is Hublot going? Is this just this?
They're going the
feels-
B route.
Yeah, this I don't know how I can say that this feels unimaginative, but it does.
It's
already.
comfortable.
Is it? I mean, all Hublots are comfy. in my
This one,
experience. They're
this is
a
cool.
comfy
I
shape.
like the profile. I just find some of the like little details that try to make like the name twice on the side unnecessary. The like random color blue hour markers that aren't symmetrical unnecessary. Like there's something here. They just fixed it a little bit. Other versions done it better. The blue is nice. But I feel like there's too much insider baseball. I feel like Mr. Ross is like, oh no, me and my buddies, well, only us are going to know about these hour markers. And like, that's just unnecessary. I find that the more I see these collaboration watches, the less I want to see them having like a bunch of unique Easter eggs for the people that did it. I want it to be more mainstream. I want these collaborations to be for everyone as opposed to the few.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice blue, but it's no mocha mousse. So,
Thank God.
Is
This would look awful in brown, by the way. Let's be honest.
most things probably do. Collaborations. I mean, is 2025 going to be the year that collaborations stop being a thing, or have we got another year of endless collaborations where neither party probably makes that much money out of it? Is it just easy? Is it still easy marketing? You were talking about marketing, Ariel, earlier on.
Well,
It's still
remember
just
how long
easy
it takes to make a
sales.
watch, right?
Mm,
So the collaboration trend has been the talk of the town for the last several years. And these watches can
mm,
take between 1 to 6 years. So, like, if 2025 is the year that collaborations die, that means in like 2029, we'll stop seeing collaboration watches, if that makes sense.
right. Okay. Should collaboration watches die? Is it becoming a pro? Is it the Are we on the early signs of it being a problem? Like,
Watches
because
instead of
everything.
advertising and marketing should
Mhm,
die. That should die. But
mhm,
collaborations in general, no, it depends on the collaboration. Some are amazing. There's a
mhm,
lot of dumb, lazy ones out there, sure. Um, Look, these collaborations have been almost solely responsible for the originality we've seen in the industry, right? Especially from the
mhm.
big brands. Without them, there'd be so much less originality. So I don't
True.
want them to die. I just want brands to stop pretending like this is a way around actually advertising your brand.
Mm. Ripley, David.
Yeah, I think the concept of a collaboration in any industry has a lot of merit, and it's a great way to kind of have a product that exists in two separate worlds while playing to both of them. It's a great way for brands to infuse uncharacteristic design languages in their own catalog without doing something that's just straight up uncharacteristic. So I don't want them to go away, but I just want them to be a little bit more intentional. Like Ariel said, just because something's a collaboration, that's not in lieu of a good product or a cohesive marketing campaign. Without some reason for this collaboration happening in the first place, or even communicating what that message is supposed to be, it doesn't really matter how good the collaboration is. It just sort of it can be a great product, but it doesn't necessarily explain what it is. So I think a lot of the tired collaborations are just that. It's a lazy collaboration. It's two brands teamed up to share the risk and split the profits, and it doesn't really evolve the end product. But I think when collaborations are done right, I think it's a great thing and can result in some really interesting pieces that you wouldn't otherwise see. But it's when the collaboration just results in a new dial color or something of an existing model that it's like, okay, well, maybe not then, let's look elsewhere.
Hmm. On the basis that our new watch awards, every award has to be a pun. David, what would be the pun for the collaboration award that we'll give out? Any good ideas?
A pun? What do you mean? A-
Well, how Hublot can you go? Maybe
Yeah,
that. Maybe
that's
that's
a
a
good one.
collaboration
I
award.
think we can stick with that. I like collaborations because they every time when I picture a brand that's been pushed out of its comfort zone. So I do like the concept for that reason, even if I don't like the result, as I don't in this case.
But does it feel like Hublot is being pushed out of its comfort zone anymore? Does it feel like its comfort zone is
I
uncomfortable
mean,
in
yeah,
a
I mean,
stranger
I'm not saying Hublot. I'm saying
mm,
basically everyone
in
else. Hublot
general?
has been big on collabs for a long, long time.
Mm, mm. Good, good. Right. Let's Ariel, you had a long-term review of a watch, which I will now attempt to find. This was the high-end G-Shock. I'm assuming it is still in one piece, it being a G-Shock. This is the MRG B2100. Can we, again, for the purposes of everyone from different sides of the Atlantic and different bits of the world, give the definitive from yourself who wrote the Casio book? Is it MRG or Mr. G? These are the
It's all
important
the
questions
above.
we
It's
ask.
whatever you want to be.
It's whatever you want it to be.
I
Okay.
mean, it's Mr. G, but it's also the MRG B2100.
Okay.
And
Well,
then
how
there's
what
other
would you
letters and
say if you
numbers.
were talking about this watch? Would you call it a Mr. G or an MRG?
I I call it MRG just because for me, Mr. G is the sort of like silly fun way they did it. Like, oh, we always have letters and numbers, but look, it's we just did the letters as Mr. G. Like for me, that was like the insider way that they would speak about it, not necessarily how they wanted consumers to talk about it. For me, when I hear Mr. G, I think Mr. T because when I grew up, and I don't know that's the association. I mean, I guess he was a big, loud guy, and the watches are too, right? But
Yes.
I just, for me, Casio is a wonderful letters and numbers brand.
More letters and numbers required. So how did you get on with it?
I thought this was a really cool watch. And one of the things I discussed is if you have familiarity with some of the several last generations of MRG, this is something totally, totally different. This basically takes a profile that you know and like and tries to make it as cool as possible, which they sort of did with the digital version, though I think that there's going to be a little bit more of a wide audience with this analog dial. It's about as un-G-Shock as you can get in a lot of ways from design, though it still has to say things like protection on the bezel for some random reason. um, you know, the dial is about as
For your comfort.
withheld in terms of extra features. It doesn't have a lot of connectivity. It has Bluetooth, of course. It's a fundamentally different beast than the other types of G-Shocks, MRGs, which is like throw in features, uh, artisanal craftsmanship, the same way that people were making swords and things like that with all the different hand hammered this and that. This is just a fundamentally different beast. What you get is a very worry-free package that sort of like combines futurism with traditional profile. It's a very well-rounded watch. There's no one area that it does anything better than any other watch, but it's cool. I found myself wearing it a lot. And what I like about watches like this with a lot of other Japanese watches is like you don't have to worry about it being on time. It's solar powered. It updates the time from your phone. Um, it's just so nice to have a watch you can just sort of pick up. I think that the price is an issue. It's not that it's overpriced. It's just that I think that somebody made a comment where like your average Seiko Astron that has the GPS functionality and also is titanium is like half the price. Like Casio for this thing uses like two exotic types of titanium. The bezel is supposed to be something called Cobarian, which is like a titanium that you can polish up like platinum. It's like really hard, so you have a nice polish. So they did a bunch of exotic things with materials, but like I could give you this watch and not tell you anything about these exotic materials, and you'd have no idea. You're like, oh, okay, I didn't know. It'd be scratch resistant and stuff like that. So there's a lot of secrets hidden in this watch. I came to like it a lot. I think it's great that it's a crown, right? Just like traditional watches, but it's a weird kind of hybrid thing that tries to straddle a bunch of lines. And if you're not like a dedicated watch lover, it can be hard to know what this watch is all about. But again, I found it very, very satisfying.
Quick question. Is that a manufactured S that's in it? Or
Yeah.
is it because it's a sample and so somebody scratched it in?
No, so for years, Casio has been stamping this same exact letter S, which never shows up properly on lots and lots of internal watches. These are some of the ones they send out for review and things like that. So yeah, that's not a scratch. I just think it's funny that they talk about like how durable it is. I'm like, but was that S put on before the coating? Like it's hard to know when that S was applied.
That was kind of my question. Who's responsible? Is this one of these jobs they give to the 14-year-olds in Tokyo of scratching the S's out on the back of these watches?
I don't know. It's a machine that does it, and I've seen hundreds of Casios that have it on there. But yeah, I guess you'd have to know what that is. But yeah, that S stands for sample.
It's just S stands for sample.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Which is weird considering it's Japanese. You'd think they'd put. I mean, what's the word? What's
the Japanese word for sample? I don't know that. Sorry.
The rest of the watch is in English. Why would they put the one marking it for sample in Japanese? Everything on the case back is English.
An excellent point. A very good point.
I've never actually considered that. I've never actually considered that all of the watch is in English.
I'd like to actually see some Japanese on a Japanese watch for once. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm having a moment. I've never considered that. There's actually no Japanese on the Japanese watch.
I mean, every time that they have a chance to put French on a watch, the French or Swiss do.
Oh my god!
Every opportunity.
That's really, and you don't get. Do you get any G-Shocks?
There's got to be some out there. There's some of those little indie brands now that have a little bit, but yeah, like you take your your average Seiko, Citizen, or Casio, and you'd be hard pressed to find any that have kanji or anything like that on it.
Mm-hmm. I am my gast is flabbered. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Right, we're gonna move on and play Hit Miss maybe. So let's see who is in the waiting room. I can see Ralph there. I don't know if anybody else is kicking about. Good morning, Ralph. You are live on the show. I don't know if the other two gentlemen are kicking
Good
about
morning.
yet. We're expecting others. Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
All good here.
You having a Mr. G
good.
kind of day?
Had Ralph, had you appreciated that G-Shocks don't have any Japanese on them? That's just my mind is blown this morning. I'd never actually thought about that. That's a brand new thought. It's not often you get brand new thoughts, but that was one. Here comes Guy, and here comes Kevin.
If I would have known that, I would have taken all my G-Shock gear on, all my swagger.
That's right.
So,
We'll need to send out a new note that anyone appearing on Hit Miss maybe has to try and top Ripley for the amount of gear they've gone. Guy always has a bit of a try. Good morning, Guy. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning.
Morning, Kevin. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Excellent. We can hear you. You can maybe
Hold
move
on.
your microphone slightly closer
Okay,
to your
good.
mouth.
No problem.
Good. Excellent. Right. Well, we're gathered for Hit Miss maybe. I'm tempted to say to these gentlemen they might need to hear the jingle because they've not heard it.
Oh,
How
yes,
much
please.
Love
money
to hear the
will you
jingle.
pay me not
Make
to
yourself
play the
comfortable,
jingle?
Oh my
please.
God.
Yeah, prepare yourself, gentlemen, for the acoustic experience.
No,
of the
I'm
century.
desperate to hear the jingle.
Oh,
You want to hear the
should be.
jingle? We'll play
You'll
the
be
jingle
desperate
again.
afterwards.
You'll be desperate afterwards. Here we go. Here comes the jingle. Here it comes. Come on. Here we go. Remember, get your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care.
You wanna know and you wanna talk. Let's hear your thoughts on a blog to watch. Give us a call, your paper and pen. Remember this tune, just stream it again.
I'm warning you. Give up for Ripley. David's in shock.
Give us a call, your paper and pen. Remember this tune, or stream it again.
Guy, that not is your fancy guy DJing? I think that's the DJ
I mean,
track of the
It
song.
was so something that I barely realised that Ripley was dancing in a cycling top.
Anyway, there we go. Right, let's thank you, Mark, for that. You can hear a lot of that, so unless somebody sends in something else, that's what you're going to hear every week until you're humming it along.
Till all the listeners leave.
Till all the listeners leave.
pressure is on.
We have
Pressure is on.
listeners.
It's quite literally an earworm. It's unbelievable. It's the man's really some sort of genius. Anyway, right, Kevin, where are you and what are you wearing?
I am in a dismal Kent at the moment, and I've got on today a recently serviced X33 Gen 1 from Amiga.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Recently
That's
serviced.
cool.
Dare we ask how much a recent service of a Gen 1 X33 costs?
But basically, they just take out the module because it's a
All right.
quartz. Yeah, so you just, but it still costs a couple £100 just for them to do
Yeah.
it, but never mind.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Guy, where are you? What are you wearing?
I'm on the south coast, and quite excitingly for me anyway, I'm wearing what arrived yesterday in this brand new, which is it's called Cali, which is our first California dial watch, and it's real. I'm not just saying it; it is really nice, and it's got an exhibition case back, and it's awesome.
To be fair, I mean, it might be, but you are just saying it. Let's be honest.
No, I
You're
mean,
not
I'm
gonna-
I'm biased.
Even if it was terrible, you'd still be saying it's really nice.
I am biased. No, because I've got like a few prototypes through, and some of them aren't making it into production. I can show you the
All right, okay.
prototypes that aren't making it in, but this one is like I've got 60 of them ready to go, and it's really nice.
Cool. We want to see the stuff that got rejected. That's where the fun is. We want to see.
I can show you one that got rejected if you want.
We want to see that this watch is truly horrific. So we put it in a cupboard.
I wouldn't make anything truly horrific. It's just not quite, didn't come out right.
Quite right. Good stuff. Ralph, welcome back. Where
Yeah.
are you? What are you wearing?
What I wanted to wear was actually
Oh.
my Moser
Yeah.
Christmas sweater, but it was too hot because we have a temporary air conditioning failure. So actually, I'm in my t-shirt then. I'm wearing a boring Rolex Daytona, the current.
Very nice, very nice.
126.
It just so happens that David has something that he would like to pitch you for your Rolex Daytona. David, your 30-second pitch starts now.
Yeah, I'm not wearing anything, but my handstand is taking care of that for me. Look at this. And it does have a Daytona on it, which does not have a Mercedes hand, and yet it works. So that's, I think, is a testament to the brilliance of this design, really.
There you go. And that's David's Dragon's Den pitch. Ariel,
Yes.
where are you? What are you wearing?
I'm in Los Angeles, and I am wearing not something too distant from what Kevin had. This is the new Citizen ProMaster Land U822, which it has a little MIPS memory and pixel screen and a digi thing there. It's interesting. Cool. It's got it has a light feature that allows you not only to see what the intensity of the light is, it's Eco Drive, but it also has a graph where you can see over time. It's the first non-smartwatch I've ever seen to have a feature like that. So for the Anna Digi fans out there, you have more in store for you in the future.
I like that. Sounds good.
Who's up next? Ripley, where are you? And dare I say, what are you wearing?
In Los Angeles, and as you can tell from my head-to-toe Tudor attire, I am wearing the Tudor Pelagos FXD Chrono Cycling Edition.
Good, very nice. David, where are you, and what would you like to be wearing?
I'm in Budapest, and I would like to wear something with a ton of diamonds on it.
Fantasy wrist game, ton of diamonds. I'm in Scotland, and I'm wearing a Panerai, which we'll come on to in a moment. Right, let's do our first hit miss maybe, which actually is going to be the watch that Ariel is wearing. So Ariel, give us a bit more on the Citizen ProMaster Land U822 with MIPS. Digidial. I'm a big Annie Digifile.
This is the special version for the 35th anniversary of the ProMaster, which not a huge amount of people care about, admittedly, but it's a big deal for Citizen. So this one has like this fancy textured bezel, as you can see, and it comes with a camo strap. Look at that Lume shot. The Lume is cool.
I mean, come on.
That's hard to beat,
I need
right?
This.
That's fun.
This are diamonds, David.
Will do.
A diamond version of this.
The weird thing is, like, this is like a very highly spec'd Toyota Corolla, right? The Corolla is supposed to be an expensive car, but I guess if it's fully spec'd out, it's like kind of expensive. So the retail price on this is about $800, which is a lot because it's steel, it's not super titanium, and the standard non-special versions are several $100s cheaper. So I don't think you should be necessarily having to spend $800 on this, but at a few $100s, I think it's really, really cool. I did mention that I had to consult the manual to figure out how to change modes. I tried for like 15 minutes how to figure out how to put it in chronograph mode, and I couldn't do it. And that's a pretty simple thing to put it into chronograph mode. I had to push something and then push something again. It wasn't exactly, once you figure it out, it's not so bad. But it's very legible, which is a great thing. It's got a couple of little quirks, but I think what's important about it is for all those people that like the high functionality non-connected watches. If you don't want Bluetooth, if you don't want any type of GPS thing, if you just want it to be a self-contained watch that, I mean, obviously it takes solar power and light to power it. This is a watch for you. So it builds on a legacy of Citizen watches. And look, there's a bunch of pilots out there that have the cousins to these, or the Navahawks that are their pilot watches. So I think that MIPS will eventually come to those. But this shows real technical innovation that's happening at Citizen, not for a several $1,000 watch and things like that, which I think we can all applaud. So not necessarily for every day, but it's generally fun, and it has that kind of machismo thing that we like, right?
Good. Right.
Machismo.
Machismo. Give it a vote. A hit, a miss, or maybe 1, 2, 3, go. Hit, miss, maybe hit. Right, let's go very quickly. Kevin, it's a hit from you. Why is it a hit? Guys
Absolutely
already. Hold on a
hit.
second, Kevin. Hold on a second. Guys are already looking sick to his stomach.
And I know why.
He's just looking
I know
sick.
why.
It's not the camo. It is genuinely. It's not the camo. It's not the camo.
Kevin, go on.
Well, Arrow had me at camo stripe. Come on, and it's anti-digital. Say no more. Here, all day long.
It's satisfying for someone that likes that. I mean, Kevin's gonna be a happy man with this watch, no doubt.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Right, Guy.
Guy, you have an opinion. You want to see it again while you're saying it?
How big? It feels like it's like a tower on your wrist. How big is it? I mean, it looks massive.
It's 15 or so. Maybe 14.
Come
on.
This is the first. This is a momentous
Don't you want
occasion.
people to notice your timepiece?
If anybody is like really paying attention, this is the first time I've given a black case watch a miss on this. I don't get it. I really don't get it. What that weird crown on the left-hand side? And
that's because they want you to
pointing
remind you
down
about
at an
analog
angle.
stuff. So there's an internal rotating bezel, totally useless, but people love fidgety spinning things.
I hate compass. I hate compasses on watches because no one can use them.
Don't worry,
No
it
one
doesn't
knows how
have
to
one.
use them.
Just the indicators.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, even if David added diamonds onto it, couldn't hate this more. I just don't get it.
Doesn't the Lume Shot save it for you though? We're all suckers for a good Lume
No, because I think the Lume Shot's quite complicated as well. Like, I don't think the Lume. It doesn't make it like easy to tell the time with the Lume Shot.
Like the point, you're supposed to feel like you're in a cockpit, even though it's a land watch.
Yeah.
Land cockpit. Imagine that.
I'm as confused looking at this as if I went into a cockpit and was like asked to land a plane. No. I mean, if people like this thing, maybe it's just not my area, but I don't get it. It's horrible. I just don't get it.
Right. Well,
sorry, Citizen.
Oh, guy.
And I don't get the weird camo, but we all know I don't get camo.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Let's say who's next? Ralph.
Well, for me, it's a hit because I just love that. I have a very dear old Citizen. I don't know what it was, but also Echo Drive and with lots of functions that I still have and I still treasure very much. So it's really close to my heart. I think there should be more stuff on it. I would love satellite wave and all of this other functionality. I am with you with the compass bezel. I tried for hours here in Dubai with the compass bezel to read the time. I thought, maybe Northern Hemisphere is wrong. Maybe I should do the Southern one. And after hours of useless, and I thought I'm stupid, right? Because it didn't work. I figured out that, well, if you are close to the equator in the tropics,
it doesn't work.
You're out of luck. It doesn't work. And so I said, 5 hours of my life I never get back. So,
yeah. Well, at least you were able to chronograph time how many hours it was of your life accurately to within a millisecond. That's good. Here you have the opposite problem, which is we could use it, but we can't see the sunshine. Ariel, you gave it a maybe.
It's a strong maybe. I wear it a lot. I want this thing to be super titanium. Like, you can get a Citizen watch for super titanium for like $300. You know, the steel is comparatively heavy. It just begs to be in super titanium. Also, the backlight for the little screen is that kind of like orangey color. And it's like the same light that they've been using for like 20 years, and it's not that bright. It's okay, you see it, but like when the Casio one has like that very even illumination, that's like I think they call it super LED. It looks really, really good. This is like, okay, guys, you put the MIP screen in there, but you have the old backlight from the old LCD one. It's like, come on. So, I feel that this is a transitional product. That's really what I get. That Casio, Citizen wanted to come out with an affordable one, but like what we're waiting for is the one that, we're talking about with the Bluetooth, with maybe some GPS, super titanium, all that. Hopefully it's like 3 millimeters thicker. Okay. Then we're talking. Let's eat Godzilla this baby.
Yeah.
Ripley.
I said it's a hit. I like these things that Citizen does where it's like, almost a caricature of like a sport or tool watch, but at the end of the day, it is very capable. I agree with what everyone said, except Guy. The camo strap's awesome. I don't know what
I
to
quite
tell
like
you.
the strap.
The bezel, the camo bezel, it looks a little bit more like tiger stripes than anything else. I don't know about that, but I think it's
like
funny.
Damascus steel kind of look. The dial is what's camo in the strap. The bezel is not strictly camo.
I like it. I agree. It should be titanium. Put more features in it, because once you're putting a little Annie Digi screen in there, go for it. Go for the moon. Like, do the X33 thing. But yeah, I think it's a hit. I don't know if it's necessarily the watch someone would wear every day, but I love that Citizen still does this type of stuff, and I think it's just such an interesting pillar in their catalog that even if you don't wouldn't necessarily wear it yourself as a daily watch, you kind of have to appreciate them that they still do this stuff and want to move the needle forward in the realm of like sport and tool watches without just outright making a smartwatch, which they also do.
Yeah.
David?
I can't not like these, even though I would probably buy this, wear it for a week, and then put it on a shelf and never wear it again. I'm also at odds with the functionality that it has a bunch of functions that yet none of those are on hand when you need them. So that's I think an issue. But somehow I just like this very much. I think it's bonkers and it's cool.
And I just like. Kevin, you had me at Lume Shot. You had me at Lume Shot, so there we go.
Before we start, can I ask Ariel, does the crown stick out past the lug protectors, or is that like in the shot?
The lug protectors? What do you mean by that?
Not by the crown protectors. It's like the crown. It's got crown protectors, but the crown is wider than the crown protectors.
Well, the thing is, you push in the crown as like a button.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be able to be depressed. It has to have room for you to depress it in. It looks like it should be able to be screwed down, but it doesn't screw down.
Yeah. That's what it's bugging me, that it looks like it should be able to be screwed down.
Yeah.
And it's really bugging me that the other crown on the left-hand side doesn't have knurling, and the three on the right-hand side do have knurling.
Okay, it's a miss.
Yeah.
It's a miss. Changing their vote.
Sorry. I was trying to work out the crown protector thing, and this looks weird.
Well, the funny thing is this, and this is the instructions, which I was forced to read, actually discuss screwing down the crown, but I guess they have those instructions, that apply to several watches and not just for this one watch. So it's very confusing because like you're sitting there, you just keep depressing. You're like, come on, screw in. You're like, wait a minute, I don't think it does it.
Because it would look better. These pictures would look better if it was screwed in.
I know, and the instructions strongly imply that it does. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've attempted it 45 times or so. It's still not screwed down.
There's a bit of gaffer tape looking for a banana that's free onto this. That's so.
One quick question.
This is the watch that needs the gaffer tape to the wall to hold the crown down for the Photoshop.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
The contrast of the MIP display, is that something that you enjoy? Is that good? Because especially with the negative ones, it's always challenging sometimes to read the.
I'll just put it this way: it's vastly superior in legibility than an LCD of that size.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that should be in the Casio, the next version.
Yeah, I mean, Casio's gone full MIP screen, right? So they've done the full thing. This is them going a little bit. I think this is the first time we've seen these subsidiary screens with the MIPS. But I agree. It's a great technology. We're probably going to see more of this for sure.
Good. Right.
Thanks.
Next up, this is a little watch that David had reviewed. The Omega Seamaster Diver 300-meter watch in titanium and bronze gold, because what Omega needed in the 300-meter dive watch was more types of material. David, what do you reckon?
I think I like the colorway. For some reason, I'm partial to this, and the No Time to Die edition of this is, I think, for some reason, I'm always drawn to it. This is a cool combination of materials, I think, but of course it's gonna drive some people up the wall, which I can also understand. It's this 9K gold inclusive bronze, which is sort of a ridiculous thing unto its own. This whole thing is is a ridiculous exercise that doesn't make any sense, and yet somehow it's just more exciting than your monochrome, boring black and silver divers. I think it's for those people who want another Seamaster, but they've already had all of those. I think it's for those.
I just feel that this is how James Bond dresses for Christmas. That's what I
But
say.
it definitely has a Christmas vibe to it as well. That's very true. Yeah, it's a bit annual.
Do you think this is your opportunity, David? This is your opportunity, David. Do you think we could see a Omega Seamaster hand, maybe resembling some sort of stand that you might hold a watch on?
Yes, absolutely. And I also want like this wave decoration for the wall, but it should be like 5 meters wide. And it's just waves on your wall, basically.
Ripley,
that's what I want.
Get the chisel out, Ripley. Get the chisel out. We want the chisel out for the wall, and we want
Mighty
the
balls.
cycling shorts with the gaffer tape across for next week.
I've thought about the chisel, but Omega laser ablades the lines in their new dials. So if I were to really do this right, I'd need a massive machine to just burn that into the rock behind me.
Yeah, very good. Good. Right, let's give the Omega Seamaster in funny gold a vote. Is it a hit, a miss, or a maybe?
Real quick, how much is this thing?
Oh, this thing
like
is
10K.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more expensive than the K on the gold. So yeah, 10,700
on the mesh bracelet,
mesh and 9,900 on the rubber. So there we go. So on
Still don't understand why it's sold with both. Why can't you just buy it on the bracelet and it comes with the strap? Why are these two different products?
Money.
Still don't understand that. Charge a little bit more off for both.
Shareholders.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's going to buy both? It's like, well, I'm going to buy one on the bracelet and one on the strap so I can have one of each. Like, who does that?
You just go in there and say, can you give me a discount? No, but we can give you a piece of rubber. Great. And then you're out with both.
You're done. Right, the count of three. Hit, misser, maybe 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, maybe, miss, maybe's right. Kevin, why is it a hit?
I have actually tried this on when it first came out, literally 10 minutes after the launch, and it is very, very nice. That titanium bracelet is stunning. The colorways I think work, and I'm glad they got rid of the waves on that particular dial. It's more expensive than I thought it should be, but they're saying, well, prices go up, inflation, blah 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 blah. It is what it is. Suck it or move on, basically.
Was that the official Omega statement to you?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay, yeah.
From head office straight away,
yeah.
down the line. It is very, very nice on the wrist, and I do like the colorways. I still prefer the original No Time to Die because of the case back. This has got an exposed case back showing the movement, which, okay, it's a 8807, 8806 movement, which is fine. But I do prefer the Bond case back because of the alliance to the British forces. But yeah, it's still nice. The dial is great. The colorways work. I still prefer the other original. And it's cheaper, of course, the original No Time to Die. But it's still a good watch.
Guy?
I gave it a hit. I really like it. I think the colours are really good. And it's made me realise, because I don't really like the Seamaster, but I think I don't like the wavy bit on the Seamaster. And I think getting rid of that is a massive plus. I think it's really nice. I think it's overpriced, but I think it's really nice. And I totally agree that you should get it with both straps. But I think the colours work. I think it looks really good.
Cool. Ralph, how'd you vote?
I wrote it maybe because I think it's a criminal omission to not have a quick exchange functionality there. They do this for the Admirals Cup one. They have done that for the Olympics one. And these bracelets still don't have it. And I think they should just get it across the line because it's a lot of fun, especially with this colorway, to change the bracelets. And yes, I agree. There should be both in the box. And
I mean, to be fair,
I had a two-tone version.
You could probably fit another bracelet through that gap that's between the beads of rice strap and the case. You can just put a strap over a strap.
Your backup NATO.
Back up
But-
NATO on it. Sorry,
That is very true. I had a two-tone one, the blue one with the Setna gold, and I really enjoyed this watch, but it was time at some stage to go. So I have a bit of a knack for these two-tone ones, the Seamasters. So I like it, but it's a bit too expensive. So that's a maybe for me.
Yeah, Ariel. What was your
I
conclusion?
said maybe. I like the underlying watch a lot. I continue to be a fan of the latest generation of the Seamaster 300M. The reason it's maybe is a few little things. First of all, I don't know if this is a colorway that I'll like all the time. Unlike Kevin, I haven't seen it in person, so I don't know exactly what it looks like. These types of colors, honestly, in the marketing images, in real life, it could be anything, right? Like you have no idea. I'm sure Kevin's like, yeah, they don't really look like that.
It's
So
not that bad.
if it's close, sometimes we've seen watches that look very little like the images. This bronze gold thing, I hate to harp on this, but it's like, could you just go bronze or gold? Like they're trying to be like, well, it's kind of gold, but if it was gold, we'd charge even more. So I feel like it has the premium price for a material that is basically bronze, right?
Yeah,
They
I
just
don't
threw
see
the word
any-
gold in there.
I don't see any reference to the quality of gold.
Yeah, like there's
No.
so I
mean,
like-
if it's bronze gold, it's like what, 9 karat or something like
Yeah.
that they say,
Yeah.
which is, it's less than half gold. But I'm kind of in the same camp. For a watch that's 5 figures, you should just go ahead and give us the real gold.
yeah, just give us
Yeah.
the gold. So that's another thing. So I just be sitting there staring. It's like I don't know if I just wanted to go like the kind of bronze that has the tarnishing and that kind of fun thing, or just gold, because I don't know how I think bronze gold just looks like bronze. It doesn't have the sheen of gold necessarily. So
Sheen.
it's a little thing. So maybe not my favorite version of this watch, but overall the underlying watch. Plus is it's titanium, as everyone said. The bracelet is great. And while I don't mind the waves, the more matte dial there, it is a handsome look.
Yeah.
Ayo, Ripley.
I like the colorway. I like the Seamaster Diver 300M a lot, both the regular ones and the no date spin-offs of the No Time to Die. I don't know if it's the colorway I'd want, and I think I would just rather have 18 karat rose gold components like the standard Seamasters. Where I sort of struggle with this one, aside from the gold and not necessarily the most versatile colorway, really just is the price. Part of what I like so much about the Seamaster Divers, like the standard steel models with the date, is that they really, compared to Omega's other models, offer pretty strong value. They're like 5 or 6K. You get a date, ceramic bezel, ceramic dial, 300 meters, master coaxial movement, all that good stuff. And this, it seems like they're doing the Ferrari thing where we're going to give you like lighter, cheaper materials and less features, but we're going to charge you more. So it is titanium. Yes. You don't get a date. Okay, that's fine. The dial's aluminum instead of ceramic, and we haven't engraved it. And I don't know what the bezel is, probably aluminum on this as well. So from a material standpoint, aside from having titanium and some bronze with a little higher gold content, it just seems so much more expensive compared to the standard steel models. And then even if you compare this to the No Time to Die, you're paying a pretty handsome premium for what effectively amounts to a little bit of 9 karat gold. So it really just is kind of a price point thing for me, where I think this color would do really great as a $5,000 watch. But I almost wish this was just like steel with bronze components or titanium with rose gold, and make the green stuff ceramic, or do something, make it feel a little bit more elevated in that regard.
Yeah, I forgot about that bezel, an aluminum bezel on a watch this expensive. Like that's going to be hard for people to stomach.
Hey, David.
I think it has an aluminum bezel for the same reason it has this colorway. It's just to mix things up. They could have added ceramic all the same, and it would be the same watch. I genuinely believe it's more like people are bored, so let's just try and mix things up so that they have a reason to buy this, because they have no reason to buy any of the other ones. And for this reason, I gave it a maybe. I mean, if you like this one and you're bored with all the others, sure. It's kind of a developed taste, this colorway, but I kind of like it. Yeah, why not? It's a bit bloated, a bit too large. I wish that they would make it slimmer and just, better proportioned still. a little bit. It's high time that Omega actually revisited this design and made it 12 or thinner. I think they could do it.
No, I give it a miss because look at the gaps between that beads of rice bracelet and the case. That's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable behavior at all from Omega, and the price.
It's the unintegrated bracelet design. It's the
bracelet design.
Goes against the trend.
Someone
It's
minds the
as
gap.
they could get. Some minds gap. So there we go. Anyway, so that gets a new point from me. Finally today, and because you spent all of last week abusing my favorite brand, we're going to look at this. The Panerai Luminor Duet 42mm on a new bracelet. And I love this bracelet. And only hits will be acceptable. If you don't give it a hit, you'll not be asked. Ariel, tell us about this watch.
So the Luminor Duet is kind of an interesting beast. It's a thin version of the Luminor without a lot of the sportiness. It could have had more water resistance. I guess they decided they didn't want to steal some of the thunder of the thicker ones. Like, brands are in a funny position because they use water resistance sometimes to differentiate price points in models. Anyhow, the thinner profile is definitely a win. This is the 42mm wide case, and you can see it wears definitely sizably. So you get a lot of the personality of the Panerai Luminor with a lot more of a, we'll call it an elegant wearing experience. The bracelet is quite decent. Not everyone's going to like the style of it, but at least it doesn't look generic and it is sort of fun. For the money, it's not crazy expensive. I think this actually costs less than that. This costs significantly less than the Omega we just talked about, and I feel like in ways maybe you get as much for your money here, for sure. So I thought this was well done as sort of like a daily wear. This had the burgundy red dial, which I found handsome. It comes in, of course, blue and a couple of other colors, but I had never worn a Panerai with this type of color before. And it's a versatile enough dial to look good in different ones. 50 meters of water resistance is not great, but that's again a different story. Still wears kind of bulky, but I actually think this is a very decent and, in the scheme of things today, not overpriced Panerai.
A not overpriced Panerai, mighty praise indeed. But for all the rest of you concerned, is it a hit? Is it a miss? Or is it maybe a 1, 2, 3, go? Hit. No, it's all hits. That's unbelievable. It's all hits. That's Kevin's
changing votes.
Nice try, Rick.
Unbelievable. Right, Kevin, why is it whatever it is?
Oh, where do I start? First of all, that bracelet. I think that's hideous, to be perfectly honest. Sorry, Ariel. Obviously, they're trying to be different.
I didn't design it.
Oh, good. I don't know where they're coming from with that particular bracelet. Obviously they want to be different.
They're coming from the crown.
It's the crown protector. It's the crown protector thingy.
Oh no! Oh, that's horrible. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
right, you're banned.
No.
Kicking you off.
Sorry. The good thing is,
Guy,
it's a Luminor Duet. Yes.
Guy, how'd you vote?
I agree with Kevin on the bracelet.
Hold
on, because I've got a more important point to make, which is why it nearly got a miss, but I think Rick would never speak to me again. I actually really like the look of the dial. The dial is nice, the body of the watch is nice. The bracelet, you've tried to do something new. I don't think it looks very nice, but it's hard to come up with a new bracelet after decades of watchmaking. But how can Panerai, with the big lug cover and everything, have a 50-meter water resistance? That is just ridiculous.
No, it shows you that lug protector does nothing other than protect
exactly
the crown. Or it's not lug. It's not about water resistance.
although it was invented for that, which is just it's
The whole brand's identity is based around like underwater tools, and then they make this thing with 50 meters that still looks like the underwater tool, just has none of its capabilities.
exactly, which is like that's just stupid, and it's not that like just make it better water resistance. It's not that hard.
Well, and they can. It's not like they don't have the extra material. There's all sorts of dress watches that are like at 100 meters, like any Seiko Presage, any of the dress watches I've reviewed recently. But like 50
the
meters
irony
just...
is they would have needed to have a screw down crown to give it the 100 meters of water resistance, and the screw down crown plus this thing
irony
would have just confused everyone. So they were really kind of stuck there.
Would they have needed a screw down crown? They've got the other Luminors. Yeah, the other Luminor.
300 meters.
They meters, 200 meters, 300 meters. Like there's just something.
Look, what I'm saying,
well, none of them have screw down crowns, the Luminors, right? Like even the submersibles, it's the lever.
Maybe it actually is 100 meters, but they were afraid to say so they wouldn't steal too much thunder from the other
well,
ones.
no,
Like,
that makes it twice as stupid.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That's why it might be true, because it's twice as stupid. Ralph.
Yeah, for me it's a hit, but I totally agree on the water resistance. A Radiomir has 100 meters, and that doesn't make any sense if that's only 50. So I had the PAM 352, so that's the it's a 44 millimeter one, thicker, and 300 meters water resistance. So in titanium, I love that watch, but I think 42 is the absolute perfect size. I think that's great, and also the slimmer case, this will wear so much better. So I really, really like this watch, and I think I'm still in the market for a submersible Blue Notte with auto 42 millimeters. Water resistance Zinn does 10 millimeters, 500 meters. So this is really, that's a shame. But they must have figured out that nobody actually wears them even in the bathtub. So what to do?
Ariel?
I gave it a hit. I found this to be a genuinely enjoyable watch. Again, you have to have it sized properly, because it still wears bulky, but it does have a thinner profile, and it is remarkably more comfortable in that thin profile. It's like if you've only worn the thicker Panerais, there's a novelty of having a thinner one on your wrist. The bracelet has some interesting features, and one of the features I like is they wanted to make it easy to size, but they also didn't want to have the issue where the screws gradually unscrew if you don't glue them with Loctite, which can be an issue. So there's sort of an interesting screw design. You have to take it apart and see what I'm talking about, but I really liked what they did, where they tried to, again, make it easy to size with one-sided screws. Those like double-sided screws that everyone hates to do. You end up scratching it and you use weird tools, but that also is designed not to easily unscrew. So there's a lot of little features in there that I think work well. As a casual watch lover that just wants like a nice stylish watch that's sort of trendy, there's a lot of people out there. And if you hate the bracelet, guess what? You can take it off and put it on the universe of 24 millimeter wide Panerai straps that exist. It's just nice that the bracelet is there as an option. Oh, and
quick exchange, right?
Quick exchange, plus it has a traditional bar. So, and this is important, there's no proprietary connector nonsense. And that's actually not the only one. I think there's a few others even within Richemont that do that. But I think that most watch lovers are better off with this type of quick release system that has a traditional bar underneath it than, again, some proprietary thing where you can really only use the straps that are sold by the company.
Play.
Yeah, I 100% agree about the quick release. That's one of my least favorite things about the current generation Cartier Santos. It would make so much sense to be able to take that watch off a strap or off its bracelet and put on a strap, and you can't. And for a watch like this, where the bracelet is divisive, I think you should be able to take it off and put on any of the exotic animal Panerai straps that exist out there. I really don't like the aesthetic of the bracelet. I really haven't liked these. I want to give them props for trying something new, but man, this just wasn't it. I love the dial color. I think red's a great color for Panerai, considering they're so normally in the like military adjacent colors. 42 mil, great size for a Panerai. I think the Due case profile is really nice as far as offering a slimmer profile. That water resistance is miserable. And it's really one of those things where I think the Due could be such a hit for Panerai if they just remedied that one issue with the water resistance. The whole brand is based around underwater tools. Just give this at least 100 meters. No one's going to have quite the same problem as they do with like 30 or 50 or whatever these are. And like, you know, at that point, take the bracelet off, put a strap on, and you've kind of solved my two biggest issues with it. So it's a strong maybe for me, but you can fix the bracelet, but the water resistance is just like an irksome detail that it doesn't even bother me not having 50 meters, but specifically on a watch with like this overbuilt crown protection system from a brand known for underwater tools. Yeah, I do want the depth rating. You know, it's like a 30-meter Submariner. What is the point?
David, what's the point?
This watch to me suggests that Panerai is slowly picking themselves up, slowly beginning to use their heads once again, in the same way how the Due. Yeah, I mean the Due with its 50-meter water resistance and the ridiculous crown guard is the perfect illustration as to how clueless they were for some period of time. They totally lost the plot, absolutely and desperately and tragically. And the fact that they went back to this bracelet, which I thought was pretty cool 10 or maybe 15, 20 years ago, and re-engineered it so that it has those cool screws that Ariel mentioned, the quick release. It suggests to me that they are slowly beginning to use their heads, and this being like just barely over 10 millimeters thick is also cool. The fact that it's not 14,000 but 8,000 is again to me suggests that they are thinking about this and they are trying to remedy some of the issues that they've had. It's just you know, I think maybe they are on the right course, but just not yet there.
Any minute now they'll redo their Panerai and the middle letters only will be capitalized and the outside letters. So Panerai.
Panerai.
I love it. The bracelet's great. They're dead comfy. They've been this bracelet for a wee while now in various iterations. It is lovely. The water rating. I think you might be onto something, that this probably is 100 meters. Excuse me. It's just that they don't declare it for some bizarre Swiss watch reason. So I'd be interested to see how deep this could actually go. But yeah, it's a massive hit for me. Good stuff. Right, that's our show for this week. Thank you all very much for joining us, gentlemen. I hope you have a good week ahead of you. And thank you, everyone online, for listening. I will not subject you to either Mr. Trump's WhatsApp message or our theme tune again for this week. You can look forward to it next week, but if you want to, you can reach out to the show podcast at ablog2watch.com. Thank you very much and goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.